No one wants to kind of put the work in and like, cause they don't see, it's like, it's a grind. Like you can work out for weeks and not really see benefits, right? Like it's like that consistency, right? And like trust in the process. So people want instant gratification, you know? Keep your money. I've fired clients, bro. I fired clients. You know, it's not about the money, man. Like I fired clients because you don't fall in line with what we want, what our philosophy is. You know, no one cares about how much you know until they know how much you care. Right. So it's like you got to kind of be there for them. Right. And like listen to them, empower them, give them a say in their treatment plan. It's their health, you know?
All right. I need to implement this into my.
I can't watch basketball the same anymore. Like my life is completely changed. Like I literally can't.
Because now you know the ins and outs.
The ins and outs, the skeleton of it. Like, especially when you know like what's underneath the hood of these basketball players. Like you can have a guy who's very explosive, who looks like they're performing well, but then like you kind of take a deeper dive and no, they're hanging on by a thread. Push, 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 push. You got work to do, relax.
Let's flat out. Big teams, big boys, right? My highs and lows inherit growth, Mr. Deeds. Went from juggling 3 jobs to CEO like I'm Steve. Never been a rotten apple, call me John Appleseed. That's how I bleed. God can see no other man can judge me. Call him Mike, Mr. International, getting cream. Single mother told me worth, and now I'm worth everything. Went from Wall Street to Abu Dhabi, straight rolling in a Maserati with women that feel exotic. My life too pristine.
Man, you didn't have to do them like that, man. You didn't have to do them like that.
It was film day.
Yeah.
We gotta make a statement.
Exactly. We gotta make a statement.
What's going on, man?
Flat out.
Welcome back to the Last Fight Out podcast. We're your hosts, Mike and Jay. Hit that like button, hit that share button, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and give us a follow across all of our social media channels where we can be found at Last Fight Out Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. You can find me at JLubriel26 across all of my social media channels, and you can follow Mike at
If Mike Was Here. Man, welcome back. Another New York edition. You know, it's with great pleasure for me to not only introduce, a friend of the show, but my brother, he's here and he's done great things in his industry. He's founder and owner of ADPT by Cynergy, and also the sports performance coach of the Brooklyn Nets. It's with great pleasure for me to introduce Dr. Alvin Dike.
Man,
welcome to the show,
bro.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. So we start off the show with doing a word association, right? So the first thing that comes into your mind, man, just go for that. And the word is movement.
Variability.
Okay.
Variability. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can you go in deeper? What do you mean by that?
You just asked for the word.
So like with movement, variability is like something that we strive for in athletics, in health. It's like giving like the person, the athlete, options to move, to solve sports-specific problems or tasks, like whether it's going up and down stairs or like having like the strength to defend or the power to explode for a lob. Like it gives them options, you know?
All right, cool.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
And I guess, man, I just want to kick this off because, man, I know you from basketball, man. You played high school in Monsignor Scanlon and all that. And then we went to college together, SUNY Potsdam. Mm-hmm. But I really want to, like, take us back to your passion and how does this translate from hoop dreams to now sports medicine? And I just want people to see that, they don't see that aspect. Every athlete always, wants to just make it to the NBA and that's it. But you found yourself to stay involved in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like you said, like growing up, like you always are striving like to be the best ball player, be in the NBA, et cetera, et cetera. And then the further you get, in your journey, you realize like, man, like, I'm not that good, right? And that happened for me in high school when I went to like national camps and like you're seeing like 6'11", 6'9" point guards. And then I was like, all right, cool. Like, let me flip the switch and like still try to be the best player like I can be within my level, like whether it be high school or get to college. But then ultimately I was like, okay, I want to stay around the game. I want to kind of, get into like sports medicine, performance, and it led me to kind of explore this route of physical therapy.
All right. I got to ask you one question before we go to the next one. Who was better, him or you? Who was busting whose ass in practice?
Nah, he was better.
I was like, answer that question.
I just
can't lie.
All right, we got that.
Nah, Google this stuff. Yeah.
All right, we had to get that.
It's all good. It's all love, though. I'm just a shooter. I just,
He was like, get out of here. We had to get that one out of the way.
And all that.
We just had to get that
It's
one
all
out of the
good.
way.
It's all good. That's
All right, so when did you realize, so going back and you had that realization about, okay, maybe the NBA is not in my cards, but when did you realize that sports medicine, performance enhancing for athletes was going to be your passion? Like at what point were you like, this is exactly what I want to do? Because there's so many lanes in sports.
For sure, absolutely. I didn't know the extent to which I'm in now, right? Like, I'm not gonna lie and sit here and say like, oh, like I was gonna be doing what I'm doing right now. But I always like had an affinity towards like watching people work out and rehab, and like I had an attraction to whether it be on TV or like a little blurb of an athlete trying to recondition after an injury. And I was like, okay, this looks cool. And something about having like the experience, the knowledge of basketball, and like being able to speak both languages, playing both sides of the, the fence there of like, okay, cool. Like I know what you need to do from a basketball standpoint, and having like the expertise of a medical professional and just marrying the two. So, so that happened for me in high school. And then like, it forced me to kind of like, all right, sit down and create a roadmap of like going to Potsdam, hooping there, picking the right major, applying to the right school, and then getting into PT school.
So you said in high school that clicked for you. Was there someone, or was it special training staff? Because I remember you coming into college, you wasn't like the typical freshman. You were kind of jacked and all that. And this was before it's trendy now. Everybody has a trainer. Everybody's getting that conditioning. Where back in the day it was just, we hoop.
Now that's a good question. Like I owe a lot to my high school strength and conditioning coach, Mike Diaz. Like that man, like showed me the definition of hard work and like instilled like work ethic in all of us. You know what I mean? So like even from how I coach to how I cue things, like I just hear his voice. You know what I mean? So we had a very dedicated high school coach who just showed us how to work hard. Period. Like just hard work. That's like half the battle.
Yeah.
Like come in, work hard, like do what's asked of you, and like be a good person.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And how, at what point, like, okay, so when you're watching the game now, we're going all over the place.
It's all good. It's all good.
So when you're watching, even if it's not your own players, can you identify like, okay, like, are you always watching from the game of like, all right, this is what we need to do in the next game because I saw you struggling with a particular movement, or like you're getting beat at some plays?
Sure.
Like, are you always like taking mental notes to be like, all right, I need to implement this into my.
I can't watch basketball the same anymore. Like my life is completely changed. Like I literally can't.
Because now you know the ins and outs.
The ins and outs, the skeleton of it. Like especially when you know like what's underneath the hood of these basketball players. Like you can have a guy who's very explosive, who looks like they're performing well, but then like you kind of take a deeper dive and no, they're hanging on by a thread. So like I'll watch games, especially if it's players that I'm managing, and then like I'm watching and thinking of ways to improve performance, or if they come back to the bike for a warm up, like we're talking about it. It even gets to the point where athletes are asking me, Al, what you think?
Oh, that's good. I mean, that means they trust their opinion, right?
Because they know I'm gonna keep it real. Like I don't gotta lie to you, right?
And at what point did you like take your passion for sort of like physical therapy and like sports medicine and transform that into your own clinic that you have currently right now?
Like, so at first, when you first come out of PT school, like I always recommend, like, you just get experience in everything, right? You don't want to come in and just dive into sports because you won't have an appreciation of what it takes to improve like health and wellness, and like you won't be well-rounded, right? So, I spent a couple of years of just, working with like geriatrics. I worked in like hand therapy. I worked in just general ortho. I worked in like a sports clinic, whereas like I was working with more higher level adults, but not necessarily athletes. Right. And then I started to like dive deep into like performance and strength and conditioning, because you don't learn that in PT school, which is a common misconception. It takes like some independent studying and continuing education to really kind of fill that void that you don't get in formal schooling.
And why is that?
It's just, PT is so broad, man. Like you can have a physical therapist who works with like cardiopulmonary patients, or a PT who just works with geriatrics who's in the nursing home, or a PT who's working with peds in a school system, right? So it's so broad. And when you come out, they're really just training you to be a generalist. And then you can specialize in physical therapy, in sports medicine or performance or...
How many years does it take to do the whole PT school and all that? 3
years after undergrad. So you'll go to undergrad for 4 years, and then PT school is a 3-year degree, or you can do 3+3, where it's like 3 years in undergrad, and then you go into a graduate school program. But that wasn't an option for me because of basketball, right? So I didn't want to give up my senior year of hooping in college.
Man, it's like a law degree. The law degree takes 3-4 years, depending on how if you go full time or part time.
Without the pay.
Not all lawyers get paid. That's another misconception.
That is true too. That is true.
I'm just saying, unless we weren't as lucky, that's come out with massive debt.
Same with PT, man. Same with PT. You go to all these big time private schools and you accrue hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and you're coming out making the same amount that, of someone who went to a state school.
Yeah.
So.
Nice. And then so you come out, so you're just working and you're generalizing. And then how is it that you get on the Brooklyn Nets radar?
Yeah, dude. So the pandemic hit. It forced me to kind of get back to the drawing board. I remember waking up every morning in the pandemic and going to my computer. I revamped my website. I took a bunch of continued education courses online. I would take a course, go out, practice what I'm learning, film it, record it, put it on Instagram. So as I was learning, I was sharing with my followers.
Right. And just, excuse me. So at this time in the pandemic, how did it, obviously you couldn't have the close contact and social contact, but in terms of how did it affect your practice at the time?
So we shut down for a bit, but because we're healthcare professionals, we were allowed to continue to work.
Okay.
So there was a little loophole around that, which I got a lot of hate from people because of that. A lot of my personal training colleagues were not able to work, and they were pretty pissed off. So the benefit of having that professional degree.
And this is an ADPT, which is your clinic. This is before the Nets, are during the same time.
So at the time we were in FIDI, and it wasn't ADPT, and I was had a very small ownership. And then the pandemic hit, it forced things to slow down. I started to work on my craft, and I came to the realization all right, cool, this isn't for me. I wanted to kind of dive in more into sports. So we left FIDI and then opened up ADPT by Cynergy on 57th. And then I have a partner, and then we decided to go 50-50 on this next venture. And that's when it came. So it started off with working with high school athletes. And then, you work pro bono just to kind of get the reps. So people will hit you up on Instagram, and then you'll see a couple of people for free. You get them better. They tell their friends. You hopefully get a paying client. Yep. And then before I know it, it's all right, more athletes were coming in. I'm training boxers. I'm training soccer players. I'm it just kept on growing. And then one day, I think I applied for the Nets job way back when, didn't really get it, was going to all these continuing education courses, networking, meeting people. People are following me on social media. And then I just randomly got an email asking me to hey, we'd like to interview you for this role.
And when you got that email, what were you thinking?
Bro, I did laps. It was actually on my birthday.
Oh,
yeah, dude. It was on my birthday. I did laps. I was like, yo, because I went 2 years, literally 2 years posting every day on Instagram. 2 years straight.
That's dedication, bro.
You was the first person I know that went viral. We was yo, my phone keep blowing up.
Yeah, I told you. I think we were on vacation when it happened. I was like, yo, Mike, yo, look.
Literally
yeah. So
I'm viral on, you remember?
It was just a random post, bro. Just me exercising, me sharing things. I was a little bit more adventurous back then, just trying stuff.
He was posting all the time.
Yeah, I'll go in there. I was just you know what? I'm posting it. Who cares?
Yeah, that's how it needs to be. And what do you still keep an active social media posting schedule now, or
I try now?
He lit now. That's
it's not that I'm lit. Surprisingly enough, man. When you're in this high performance space, you battle with a little bit of imposter syndrome too, right? Where you're constantly comparing yourself to other clinicians, other high level clinicians. everyone is good, bro. Everyone is really good. Everyone has a difference of opinion. There's multiple ways to skin a cat. You know, you may be intimidated by how someone articulates their reasoning behind something, but just because it sounds a certain way, like, man, that must be right, right?
Right.
So then you start to second guess yourself. But then, like, I have to constantly, like, you know, force myself to think, like, yo, bro, like, you've gotten so many people better and back to what they love doing with, like, less of the nonsense, of the noise, you know? So stay true to who you are.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So consistency, a little bit of luck, right? Obviously, but then you got to the Nets. And just a quick question for anybody. Like, so before the Nets, if you get a young buck, like, yo, Alvin, I just want to be just like you in 10 years, or I want to get to where you're at. What piece of advice would you tell them aside from the, you know, go get broad-based experience? What did you wish that you knew back then?
I wish I would have put myself out there a little bit sooner. I wish I would have like sought out like internships. Like I think I was a little too passive in my education. Now you have students who are like DMing me on Instagram, like creating their own internships and like creating their own paths, right? So like if there's somewhere you want to go, right, like go get it, right? I just wish I was a little bit more or less risk averse, like growing up, right? So
and you probably appreciate that more when you see someone young that reaches out to you and like, hey, I want to just come in and shadow you.
But then at the same time, I'm just like, yo, it's not that easy, dude. Like just because you message me on Instagram, just because you write me this email doesn't mean I need to kind of let you into my home, right?
Yeah.
There has to be more to it. You know what I mean? Like
we're facing that too in our podcast.
Yeah, right? Like it's just like, oh, let me just hit this person up and like they're gonna randomly let me in. Like, nah, dude, like there has to be some type of mutual connection, or what are you gonna bring to the table? Which is like, oh, the biggest pet peeve of mine, like when I get messages like, oh, let me pick your brain. Like, nah, that's exchange, bro. Like, what are we getting out of it? What am I getting out of this? You know, even if you're a student, I want the student to challenge me and to push me, and it's a two-way street.
You know, it's actually interesting because I heard maybe if a student came to you and be like, oh, I saw that you did this and here's why I think you could do it better. Or maybe have that conversation, right? Just to be like, oh, okay, let me actually hear that rather than let me pick your brain. Like, okay, so like I got 1,000 people that want to pick my brain. Like, why should I choose you, right?
I should probably charge you for it, right? Like,
and people try.
I mean, I'm sure.
people try.
I'm sure.
Random question.
Yeah.
Because I never played ball. What's the hardest injury you would say to come back from, recover from?
The hardest injury to come back from, I would say it's probably any type of tendon injury.
So like an Achilles.
A patella tendon. They're not death sentences anymore, but just the nature of the injury, I think is pretty challenging to
KD came back. Look at him, a year and a half. I mean, Clay's not the same player, obviously, but KD almost came back with no dip in his performance.
Yeah, but like you have to kind of view performance from a different lens, right? Like, so physical output versus like technical performance, right? Like KD 6'11", 7 feet, skilled, can score. But then like, again, strip under the hood. Again, not saying I know anything about his specific profile, but like you got to make sure, okay, for the calf itself, like is that calf back to performing?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they can go out. I've met some people who can't even do a calf raise, but are hooping at the high level because they had a past Achilles tear or injury. Especially in the G, I've came across it a lot. Yeah.
Can't do a calf raise.
Can't do a calf raise, but they're hooping.
Damn. How do you even lift?
The body's amazing. So maybe they compensate through a different muscle group. They generate force from their quads or their glutes instead of like the calf, you know?
But that'll come out at another time.
It's not optimal, but like maybe like you'll see it certain like movements, or like maybe that one side would be prone to like knee issues because the calf is not helping to share some of the stress. But you see that.
And just from your professional opinion, man, you're seeing all these ACL tears, man, right now in the NBA. Like, what do you? These are top performing athletes, right? Like, what is an ACL like random? Like, is it like because you see some guys like even the NFL. I know you don't do NFL, but I'm just saying like NFL, NBA. Yeah, it's like you see all these top performing guys that like going down. What do you do as a strength coach to try to prevent those sort of like?
It's this. I don't believe in like preventing that. Injury prevention is like not a real thing. It's like injury mitigation. Like, what can we do to decrease the risk? Like, there's evidence that shows like, all right, the stronger you are, the less likely you are to get hurt, right? Like having good strength in certain muscle groups and a certain balance between certain muscle groups have shown to kind of help protect the joint. Like things like load management, like, not doing too much too soon, allowing for adaptation, so rest and recovery. And sometimes it's bad luck, bro.
Yeah.
So like you can do all the right things and sometimes you still get hurt. So it's tough, it's tough. It's not a straightforward answer. It's multifactorial. Things change. You have a past history of a hamstring and that affects the way you run, jump, you land, and it's going to force you to move in a different way. Maybe that moving in a different way will stress your knee in a way that you can't necessarily tolerate. I don't know, right? So it's not straightforward.
So I guess what is a Alvin Dike program, whether you're a college athlete or high school athlete, and they come to you, or even a pro athlete, they come to you, what is the first thing that you're looking for? Or why should someone kind of incorporate? Do you think like high school athletes or college athletes should incorporate
Absolutely.
Performance coach?
I had a high level high school athlete come in to see me today, and I'm talking like this kid is explosive. Like if I show you a clip, you're like, whoa! Like he on a break, he's trying to put people in the rim.
Jumping out the gym,
He's jumping out the gym. He's paced. Like he'll make a move, he'll bump, he'll spin, he'll square, he'll elevate and shoot. You don't see that kind of pace with a 15-year-old. So his genetic output is there. So in that case, like I'm looking to see what his health is like, right? Like what his joints are like, right? Does he have adequate range of motion in his hips, in his knees, and his ankles? Does he have good tissue extensibility in key muscle groups that help protect, or I would say like we call it like amplification and like of force, like can it like dampen force and amplify force? So like, do you have good mobility in certain muscle groups? And you're starting there. Most of these young kids can't squat properly. Most of these young kids don't know how to like take care of their health. So you're instilling good habits in them. So like, yeah, the first and foremost is just like health before you get into all the sexy stuff. Because at 15, one may are like, why are you doing that, right?
Yeah.
Focus on like the weak link, and then everything else gets elevated, right?
And I'm sure a lot of the foundation of that is their diet, right? Like what 15-year-olds, I mean, if you're a high performing athlete at that point, you would NBA or college prospect, you're probably eating healthy anyway.
Sure. Well, you
eat
chicken nuggets in there, go play.
We were athletic. We was eating anything. So I'm sure if you could jump out the gym, got offered.
If you're in the NBA, like you have a full like.
Yeah, you have a chef.
You
gotta have. You got some people.
There's a chef. There's a dietitian on staff. Like they have their own personal chefs.
Everyone gets one
if you pay for it.
Oh, okay.
Or it's an extra add-on even as a player.
No, we have a team chef, a team dietitian. But then the players will usually have their own personal chef that cooks meals for them.
Yeah.
And they coordinate with our dietitian to make sure that they're getting the macros that they need and like they're hitting their performance goals. Yeah. So it's like a team. It's like a collaboration.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess what would you say? Because you got someone like LeBron, right? Who's genetically gifted, right? Like that. I mean, you see clips of LeBron's ankle literally going sideways, and the guy doesn't get any ankle injuries.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do to someone like that who's like that genetically gifted? Where you're like, wow, like what else can you do to that versus someone who's like maybe has to work for their body, right? Like obviously the one who has to like work for their body and their skills is actually obviously you have to do a lot more to them. But like, how do you do to someone who's like a LeBron like prototype body wise?
Yeah, with that, with like someone who is genetically gifted, like you're focusing on their weaklings. Like you're not coming into the gym doing what they're really good at, right? Like you're gonna focus on what they're not good at, right? And like that's what's probably gonna keep them healthy and promote longevity, right? So like every athlete, their profile is gonna be different, right? And you usually do a proper, thorough assessment, and it will give you information, and you're gonna try to tackle that information through your programming. But it's mostly working on like their weak link and like maintaining or trying to, increase what it is that they have. But it all varies. Like it could be, for example, like one athlete needs to work on like their ankle strength, and like the next athlete has good ankle strength, but then needs to work on like increasing like force output from their quads. So it all depends. Like you just can't look at someone and say, all right, that like, nah, you got to like really strip down and like get underneath the hood.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's someone also that he's a big time believer in putting money into his body and, sports performance.
For sure.
Do you ever feel like even, I guess, in the professional realm that not everyone has that mentality?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, hoopers, right? Like, what do hoopers want to do?
Yeah, just hoop. That's
Exactly.
Nobody wants to do the off-season boring drills.
Nobody wants to do that. Like, no one wants to kind of put the work in, and like, because they don't see, it's like, it's a grind. Like, you can work out for weeks and not really see benefits, right? Like, it's like that consistency, right? And like trust in the process. So people want instant gratification, you know?
They just want to put up 1,000 shots and then go see the ball go through.
And, you know, and basketball is a highly technical sport, right? So like people get away with being weak, but then they're very skilled, right? And like they manage their output, right? So they don't put themselves in dangerous positions because they just know how to hoop, right? So that's why guys can be able to come back with injuries, but then just manage, right? Like we saw it in the playoffs with Denver with Aaron Gordon. He came back with a grade 2 hamstring strain.
I don't know how he did that.
Right?
That's crazy.
But he was able to play. I mean, he obviously was limited, but like if you watched him closely, he was, you know, wasn't sprinting, right? He was jogging, and like you just have to pull back a little bit. And like the vets do that really well.
Yeah, they know when to go.
They know when to go.
push
Like
it.
this is an IQ game at that point, right?
Yeah.
Like, the young guys won't go crazy and go like run corner to corner because they think that's what coach wants, right?
Yeah,
But like, yeah, we'll go hard, but then like it's like
efficient movements.
Efficient
movements.
Yeah.
And I think like when you see like young guys who know how to move efficiently,
Mhm.
like everybody looks like a guy like Jokic, right? Like he's very efficient mover. That's why, but you couldn't believe like how is this guy killing somebody who's like diesel, fast, but he's just, it's an IQ game, right? Like you said, basketball's,
and he's big as hell.
and he's big as
Back to our conversation we talked about mass, right?
yeah.
Like you can have strength, but then you can have someone with mass, like
Right.
he's just big. Bro. Like,
You know you can do it.
I don't care how much you bench or squat, like yo, I'm a house.
Yeah.
Move me.
Okay, so let's just say one of your players go like, yo, Al, what am I supposed to do to get this guy?
He talks about all the time. It's like, yo, pray. Going up, yo.
I mean, what can you do? Like seriously, sometimes that's the answer,
like,
right?
yo, dudes in the league are too skilled, bro. Everybody's so good, so athletic. Like, I don't know.
So then go like just kind of like picture your own PT firm. What would you say is unique to your practice versus traditional PT
Oh, for
practice
sure.
that people think about?
We're unique in the sense is that we're like a Swiss Army knife, man. Like, doesn't matter if like you are a grandmother who wants to prevent falls, or you're an athlete reconditioning from an ACL, or you're a athlete who's not injured that wants to improve their performance. Like, we take a evidence-based approach to programming. So nothing is like we don't do any guesswork. It's like we're testing, right? And then we're prescribing off the test, you know? So we're equipped to handle whoever it is that walks in the door. We are like very eager, hungry therapists. Like, if we don't know, we will find out. Like, we're motivated, we're dedicated, we have energy. Like we thrive off of our clients and patient success. Like, you do well, that makes us happy.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get that energy every time, like guarantee it.
I probably need to hit you up because I got my
Yeah, I was gonna tell you. I was like, I don't know how
I got
you
my
hear.
left hip replaced in 2020, man. So I'm stronger because I've been going like Barry's doing that shit, but like I seriously have an imbalance. So I'm gonna hit you up after this.
Yeah, hit me, bro. Hit me, bro.
I need to work this imbalance out for sure.
There's health and there's strength. You know, some guys will tell you squat, do this, that, but then like neglect like the smaller
It's the small
stabilizers
stuff.
in the hip and like the core and how that kind of like ties into like how it interacts with the hip. It's it's a
They're gonna get you working. Don't go there just for a massage. And
that's what this guy wants. This guy, he hits me. He hits me. Yo, you do cupping? Yo, you do needling? Nah, Mike. We lift weights. You know?
Nah, I'm going to him. That's the type of work I want to do. He wants to do the retreat.
He wants to lie down on the spot. He wants to, like the stem pad that you put on your abs. Like, yo,
he was stem pad. Like,
you saw that? I was like, this guy over here is like,
I'm good, bro.
You get a. It's like doing 1,000 crunches. I was like, Mike, come on.
Come on, keep your money. I've fired clients, bro. I fired clients. It's not about the money, man. Like, I fired clients because you don't fall in line with what we want, what our philosophy is.
What would you say is a proper? How many times should somebody be going to you optimally?
It depends on the case. Like, we have people who come to us 5 days a week. Minimally effective dosage could be like 2 times a week. It all depends on what the person is reconditioning from, like rehabbing from. It all depends on like their history. Like, if you're someone who is highly trained, highly skilled, then maybe you can adapt with just 2 times a week. Maybe we have to increase the frequency of it. So like, it all depends. It all depends. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you up. I can't believe you didn't put me.
No, I'm surprised because I know about your hip injury, and I'm like, damn. Now that you've been back, you should definitely go to his spot for sure.
It happened because a lot of baseball. I was a pitcher, so a lot of repetitive motion on my because you're coming off your right leg and you're landing on your left, so that coming over your left.
You're righty.
I was righty, yeah. So
you started working with a baseball player too, right?
Yeah, we worked with a pitcher way back when. Yeah,
it's like you would think like training camp for baseball players is a joke. It's not like we're running suicides like basketball.
They've gotten better though.
It's a lot of resistance. It's gotten a lot better.
Gotten a lot better.
Yeah, now it's a lot more. A lot of baseball players are athletes now.
They're lifting.
Not like Bartolo Colon, where you used to have a gut, and CC Sabathia was just big and strong.
Yeah, now those guys are lifting serious weight.
Yeah, now they are. Giancarlo, I've seen some training videos of him. I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's how you get the longevity now. So you got to do it. And every sport, golfers are now doing it.
Man, I train golfers too.
Yeah,
like that's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the same thing. It's like force output, rotational control, and power, and like hip mobility, access through the hip.
Terrible hip move.
Yeah. And what do you think now? There's been some debate on, for parents on, they want their kids to be athletes. So should they focus their kids on just one sport or having them well-rounded on multi-sports? What's your thoughts on that?
That's the biggest misconception is like kind of specializing too soon. In fact, like you are increasing your risk of injury that way because like you're just moving in a certain movement pattern over and over again. It's not like back in the day, like people were playing baseball, football, basketball, right? Like 3-sport athletes, like those are the ones that move really well. And you prevent burnout too, right? So you're not just concentrating on one sport. You're being faced with different sport-specific problems, right? Like different movement options and archetypes involved in different sports. So the advice and the recommendation would be not to specialize. Like just to develop general athleticism, health, and things will just translate. Like if you get someone stronger, more mobile, more powerful, then they'll figure it out in their sport. Like that's your job, right? That's your coach's job. Like I'll assess you, I'll profile you, tell you what you need to work on. We'll tackle that, and like the body will figure it out.
Yeah. And what would you say in your experience in dealing with high-performing athletes is the hardest thing for you to do? Like what do they struggle with the most? Like in terms of like, are they not motivated to do the strength training because they just want to hoop? Putting that aside, like what is the singular hardest thing for you to get them to do?
It's the communication bit, right? And the accountability. I think it's like getting guys to buy in to what you think, in your professional opinion, will like get them what they want, which is like, a long-term deal and sustainability in the league, right? So it's like just getting them to develop work ethics. My whole angle is like I try to teach and empower them, like so independent of who is standing in front of them, they know what works for their body. That's like what I preach day in and day out. Like forget the name on your chest, like yo, take care of your body, right? Like understand what it is that you need to be successful in the sport. So like I think it's just getting guys to like buy in, to trust, and that comes with time. You can't force it, right? Like no one cares about how much you know until they know how much you care, right? So it's like you got to kind of be there for them, right? And like listen to them, empower them, give them a say in their treatment plan. It's their health, But at the end of the day, you got to put your foot down and say, okay, cool, like this is what we're doing because I think it's best, right? Like this is what, like we're on a team here. Yeah. Working towards one goal.
When do you think, I guess at what point in the season or what was the day? Because I guess when you first come in, because you first started off with the G League team, right? Yeah. And then the second year you moved up to the Nets?
To the Nets, yeah.
So I guess when you first come in, I think Kyrie was on the team.
Yeah, there was Kyrie, KD.
Yeah, KD. So I guess were you still kind of in shock? Were you like, oh shit, that's Kyrie? I'm gonna tell Kyrie.
I mean, like,
you know what I mean?
Of course, bro. Like we hoopers. Like I'm not gonna sit there and say like, nah. But that wears off quickly though.
Oh, okay, you see them all the time, right?
They're human just like me. They bleed just like me, man. And like it wears off quickly for sure. But yeah, absolutely. Those guys are legends in their own right? So like, yeah, but like I said, it wears off quickly.
It wears off, okay.
It's like, all right, it's a job. Like, they don't need you to be their fans. They need you to hold them accountable and like make sure that they're available to hoop, right?
Okay.
Like availability. Like
Yeah.
That's what gets us paid.
Yeah.
Well,
You know?
what would you say, I asked you before, was the singular hardest thing for you to do for the athlete? What would you say from their perspective is like their biggest complaint about just generally in conditioning and like strength? Like what are some big common complaints that you hear from athletes at that level?
Sometimes they hate the structure. Like they want to do things on their own time. Right. So it's just like having to do things when someone else says so.
I mean, they're employees if you think about it at the end of the day, right?
All employees.
They're all employees. They keep, I think sometimes they forget that because of how much money they
like,
I'm like, there's a big dog who's a billionaire owner.
This is work. This is work. It's work. Like if you treat it like work, then I think you would be more successful. Like this is your job. Like treat it like a job. So it's like you get an athlete, like the coach will give you your responsibilities. Like, this is what I want you to do. I want you to kind of run to the corners. I want you to be a great catch and shoot 3-point shooter. I want you to defend at a high clip. But then like, you know, an athlete be like, nah, bro, like I'm better with the ball in my hands and this, that, and the third, right? Like, stuff like we've been through it. Like it's boring to be a catch and shoot. Like, you know, but like, yo, catch and shoot, 3-point shooters get money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you
3-and-D guys? 3-and-D guys get paid.
So
you stay longer in the league.
OG just got $45 million a year for being a catch and shoot guy.
So so just like, you know, let's embracing your role. That's with any job, right? Like embracing your role. Like you may think you know better than your supervisor, but like you're not. It's not your role. Like that's your boss. Like respect it. You know what I mean? Like I think that's what kind of leads to any successful like kind of team like structures. Like respect like the hierarchy. You know, I'm not saying like just, you know, be submissive and not challenge and not disagree, but then like you have to disagree and then commit, right? Like express yourself. But at the end of the day, if that's my boss and this is his show, I disagree with you, but then all right, I'm gonna support you, right?
Yeah.
So
what would you say is a moment that you had of either failure or frustration in your PT career, and how did you learn from that and improve as a professional?
It's a good question. Failure. I mean, like I try not to view it as like a failure. It's more so like as an opportunity to learn. I think the biggest bit with me is like trying to find, like, I think when you're in a high performance setting, trying to find your voice in the room and trying to speak with confidence. It's like you may feel strongly about something, but you let the noise dampen your voice. You know what I mean? So I think the biggest thing with me is just like trying to be confident in what it is that I have to say, be confident in my experience, be confident in my skill set, and then like just running with it. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing I'm learning. Just like the communication bit is like big at this level because there's multiple stakeholders. Like there's the GM, there's the coach, there's the assistants, there's like your colleagues, there's the players, right? Like you have to kind of like get information, like relay the information, make sure the information is accurate, make sure the information is timely, make sure it's clear, you know?
Yeah.
To get what you want to get out of it, right?
Yeah. Now more so your owner, ADPT, right?
Yeah.
How does that play into a factor as far as you running a clinic? Like, did you ever expect that? And like, did you expect you to have your own clinic at this point?
No way, bro. No way. I think it's a blessing. Like I have obviously a very supportive business partner, and I have a strong team. I have a very strong team in which, like, you know, they also want to work with high performing athletes and clients. So it's like a two-way street. Like I get information, I bring it back, I mentor, I share with them what it is that I'm learning, and then we all kind of like elevate together. And it's like maybe I'm going to my 4th year. I'm just now starting to see some of the benefits of being in a high performance setting. So like we're getting a lot of referrals. Like, so if athletes coming through to New York, they stop in, and like I can't be multiple places at once. So like they get a little taste of that too, you know? So, and I trust them to, you know, carry out like programs, trust them to kind of give this like high level 5-star experience to whoever it is that I'm recommending. So,
and I guess your hiring experience, if you're bringing someone into your clinic as a PT as well, like what are you looking for?
Yeah, to be honest, most of the people that we have in the clinic were students, right? So like they start off as interns, like the ones that like seek out their PT experience, right? So like they're with us for months, like they're training with us, and then they just come on to be hired. So I kind of like it that way because you get to know them as a person, right?
Yeah.
Not just like, okay, you're a really good physical therapist, like you're a good human being. Like I need to be able to sit down and have a drink with you, period.
It's true.
Like, that's my home, you know? Like, I put my heart and soul into it, right? So, like, I got to be able to trust you. You have to treat this like your own as well, too. So, a lot of times now you get people who come in and want to kind of just, you know, it's a stepping stone for them. Like, they'll be there 1-2 years and they're out.
Yeah.
Get your information, learn from you, and they're gone.
Yeah, but that's the hardest point right there. And I think you can relate that to any business, whether it's podcasting, whether it's PTing, whatever, engineering. Getting people to believe in a singular focus, especially when it's not something that's inherently not there legally or whatever it may be, but to make it feel like they have like equity in that growth.
Sure.
That's the hardest buy-in to get from people.
Mm-hmm.
And once you find those people, even though they're far and few in between, you got to hold on to them.
Hold on to them. Like, the team I have in place right now is strong, and like I see them like helping me branch out, right? Like, you know, the same opportunities that were given to me, I hope that we can give it to them, where it's like, all right, I had a really good boss who turned partner, who saw the potential in me, invested in me, and then like it led to me opening up a sports performance clinic, right? So yeah, now I want the same thing for them. Like, you have to obviously put in the sweat equity, right? And like I see that, and then like, yeah, I'm gonna reward it. Like, I'm not chasing money, right? Like, we all want to be well off, but at the end of the day, we have a vision, our mission, right? And it's to be a premier sports medicine, sports performance clinic in NYC. Like, I want athletes to think about like when they get hurt, ADPT.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. And like that comes with like dedication, hard work. You got to live it, you know?
Especially in a place like NYC where there's a lot of competition, right?
Competition is hungry, but then I believe like I don't have this scarcity mentality. Like, you know, there's an abundance like this. Like New York City is huge. And like with PT, you have to connect with your healer, right? So like, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? So like if they don't vibe out with you, if they don't trust in what you have to say, it won't work out.
It's true.
If you just treat it as an appointment, like, all right, come in.
It won't work out.
And
It is. You're like, yeah.
I've been with PTs before where it just feels like, damn, you just here to build the insurance, bro. Like, like this is wild.
It's performance, like it's human performance, whether it's medicine, where it's just like, okay, like you're hurt, and then like high level performance, it's like, okay, we take people through that spectrum. Like we've had some clients that we've been with us for like 4 years. And like people get hurt, things happen, right? Like you can't prevent injuries like we talked about, right? Like you may get into, God forbid, a car accident, or like you get hit, someone lands on your leg, which is a contact injury. And like, yeah, you help that person get through it. So.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Now I guess just one of the questions that we like to ask all our guests before we wrap up the show is like, what was that sort of last flat out moment for you in terms of like, what was that pivotal moment in your life? Had you not taken that act or that event not happened to you, you wouldn't be in front of us right now.
I think like betting on myself, and like, you know, I didn't want to go to the G League, man. Like I was like, I really didn't. I was like 10 years into my craft.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I thought I was too good. Absolutely. Yeah. And I had voiced that, but it was like, you know what? Like they don't know me from a hole in the wall. Why would they let me touch $1 million athletes without like getting to know me as a person? So it's like a part of me was like, you know what? I respect this. I'm going to show you what I can do. And it was like, all right, cool. Like taking that leap of faith where it's like, it was almost like a career change. Like I had to learn sports science. Like I had to like view things from a different lens. Like I really wasn't practicing physical therapy anymore. I was just strictly performance. Like I went like weeks and months without touching people on table. You know, where it's just like they're coming to me and like I'm seeing things in the weight room and like I'm like, all right, I wonder how his hips look, but then I don't want to kind of like overstep on someone's toes, and then like going back to the PT and saying, hey, I think there's something going on here. So that took some adjusting for me too, like not being able to control all facets of someone's like performance and health. But yeah, that was the biggest thing. I think just kind of taking that leap of faith, like not sure like if it was going to work out, if an opportunity was going to present itself in Brooklyn itself, or if another team was going to come asking, or like, will I be willing to move and relocate? I'm like born and raised in New York, and like to have the Nets come knocking, dude, that's a blessing. Like, and it's luck too. Like you said, it's luck, dude. Like I'm in Brooklyn and like the home team hit me up.
Yeah, I think I told you this story, but I almost took a job working as a legal counsel at a team out in the Midwest, and I was thinking about that. I was like, damn, I'm about to leave Dubai, Abu Dhabi to go work at this
Midwest,
team. To the Midwest, take a 70% pay cut to go pursue my passions of working in sports. And thank God I got this opportunity to come back home into the United States here in NYC. But you mentioned something quick, and I know that we already asked your last flight out.
It's okay.
But You mentioned that you thought that you were too good for the G League. At that time, the G League was viewed as a sentence, but now it's like an actual legit pipeline. There's guys on who are playing right now, like Caruso came from the G League, right? So it's actually kind of funny that you thought about that at the time, right? But what at the time, like, what was in your mind about like the G League? I'm just curious.
It was a lot of things. Like, again, like I don't want to make it seem as if the G League, like there's some really, really good practitioners in the G League. No. Like this is what it is, right? Like really good athletes in the G League. It was just more so like, you know, I'm not like a new grad. Like I'm like 10 years out of like a PT school. I have a ton of experience. I know how to communicate with people. I know how to demand a room. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I got to go do this. Like, why can't I just do that? Like, you know, it just didn't make any sense to me. Like, why do I have, and I got to take a more than 50% pay cut to do it? Come on, that's a hard sell. That's a hard sell. Right?
Yeah.
Like, let's be real here. You know, but it's like, all right, cool. Like, you know, I was fortunate enough to be in a position where like I was generating income from what I had in the clinic. Let me take this like, you know, leap of faith. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, I tried.
Right.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah.
Man.
So, where can, you know, tell us more about your clinic, so let the audience know where they can find you or find, you know, people in your space and all that if they want to get better and improve.
Yeah, my clinic is located at West 57th Street, so 119 West 57th between 6th and 7th. It's a beautiful facility. We can serve anyone from Gen Pop to athletes. So like if you have nagging pain or you're rehabbing after surgery, like, yeah, we can help with all of that. We have 3 therapists, 3 very skilled therapists. Each one has their specific niche, but we work well together. It's like a performance environment. So community oriented, like you walk in and like people are greeting you, people know each other by names. Like it's like a gym how I wanted it, right? Like it's like a community. We all support each other. It's a dope vibe.
All right. Yeah. And for next season, you are back with the Nets, right?
I am back with the Nets. Yeah,
that's what's up.
So like, yeah, let's do it again. You know, like after, like, I mean, this is like year 4. Like now, I feel like, yo, I don't care who comes in the door. Like,
yeah.
You know?
Well, as an
like,
AD,
like,
you guys lost the Cooper Flag sweepstakes.
That's how it's all good. It's all good. That's how the cookie crumbles, you know.
Man. But shout out to everybody for tuning in again. Yeah. Like, share, and subscribe. You can give us a follow across all of our social media channels at Last Fight Out Podcast. You can find me at JLouReal26 across all of my social media platforms, and you can follow Mike at
If Mike Was Here. And where can we find you at social media?
Yeah, on Instagram, Dr. Dr. Alvin Alvin Dike.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Peace, everyone. Same time, same place next week.
Peace.
Big teams, big boys, eh? My highs and lows, inherit growth, Mr. Deeds. Went from juggling 3 jobs to CEO like I'm Steve. Never been a rotten apple, call me John Appleseed. That's how I bleed. God can see, no other man can judge me. Call him Mike, Mr. International, getting cream. Single mother told me word for now, I'm